Welcome, dear students. In today's lecture, we will see what is laser diode and how the laser diode works. Now, first see what is laser diode. A semiconductor device that generates light of high intensity is known as laser diode. Laser is an abbreviation for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Stimulated emission is the basis of working of a laser diode. Laser diode is similar to LED, however different from LED. The PN junction of laser diode produces coherent radiations. These radiations means the light wave generated by the device have the same frequency and phase. You can define this term also with this is the basic for abbreviation for laser: light amplification, stimulated emission of radiation. So this is important abbreviation for laser. The electromagnetic radiation, which covers the range from ultraviolet region to the infrared region. The three basic steps in the generation of laser are absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. These are the three steps in the generation of laser. So this is the symbol for laser diode. This is the construction diagram for laser diode. See, this is the one of the type of the diode we have seen in previous lectures. Working of PN junction diode, Zener diode, working principle for LED light emitting diode and photodiode. Laser diodes are the semiconductor lasers which generate highly intense coherent beam of light. These were developed by Robert N. Hall in early 1960s and are also referred to as injection lasers. It is well known that an incident photon can interact with the atom to release a photon which will be identical to the photon in all respect through phase, frequency, polarization and direction of travel. This phenomenon is referred to as stimulated emission and forms the basis of working for laser: light amplification by stimulated emission of radiations. Further, if this event occurs in case of a PN junction, then the diode is referred to as laser diode. Laser diodes are usually made up of three layers, sometimes even two, where gallium arsenide like materials are doped with aluminum or silicon or selenium to produce P and N layers, while the central undoped active layer is intrinsic in nature. When a large forward bias is applied for such an arrangement, heavy current flow through the junction, due to which electrons will gain more energy when compared to holes. This extra energy is released in the form of photons when electrons combine with the holes during recombination process. All these photons oscillate with a particular frequency and bounce back and forth between the reflective walls of the active layer. During this process, a few of them collide with the other atoms to produce more number of photons. This process continues, and thus there will be an increase in the number of excited electrons. When compared with those in the non-excited state, this phenomenon is termed as population inversion, and at this instant a constantly highly coherent beam of light will be emitted from the central layer in the direction parallel to it through the partially reflecting surface. You can see in front of your diagram. It is to be noted that in order to obtain laser light, the end surface of the semiconductor material should be parallel to each other and are to be cut and polished carefully. Among these, one is to be made fully reflective in nature, while the other should be partially reflective. Also, the wavelength of the light emitted by the laser diode depends on the distance between these two reflecting surfaces and will usually lie in either visible or IR spectrum. These wavelength decides the size of the spot the laser light can be confined to. Shorter the wavelength, smaller will be spot size. Laser diodes are compact in size and use little power and are thus preferred over lasers when the question will be of space and power consumption. Moreover, the laser diodes can be characterized in terms of their threshold current, which indicates the value of current at which stimulated emission overcomes the spontaneous emission. However, it is possible to obtain the output power greater than that of single mode laser diode without compromising on its too narrow spectral range by using master oscillator power amplifier. As they use an integrated power amplifier to increase the output power without affecting the narrow spectral output produces by the oscillator section. Further, the laser diode can either be edge emitting, surface emitting, depending on whether the laser is emitted in the direction parallel or perpendicular to the material. Apart from these, there also exist many other variations of laser diode like vertical cavity surface emitting laser diode, high power laser diode, distributed feedback laser, external cavity diode laser, broad area laser diode. So these are the some exist variations of laser diode. You can see in the simple diagram in front of you the laser diode formed by doping aluminum or silicon to gallium arsenide material in order to generate N-type and P-type layer. You can see in the block diagram N-type and P-type layer. Along with this, an additional active layer of undoped gallium arsenide is placed between the two layers. The thickness of this active layer is of few nanometers. The aim of sandwiching this layer in between P and N type layer is to increase the area of electron and hole combination. Increasing the emitted radiation, the laser output is taken from active region of the laser diode. In laser diode, polishing at the two ends of the junction is done in order to provide a mirror-like surface. Through reflection from this surface, more electron and hole pairs gets produced. Result of this that produces more radiation through the device. So these are the main steps for producing a coherent beam of light in laser diodes, that is absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. So in absorption of energy, you can see in front of this diagram when light is incident on photosensitive material, electrons absorb energy from the incident photons and move to a higher energy level. You can see in diagram working of laser diode. Consider two energy levels as shown in front of your diagram. that is E1 and E2. For simplicity, let us assume E1 is the lower energy level and E2 is the higher energy level. At this E1 energy level, you can see left hole after electron moves to higher energy level by absorbing energy, and at the side of E2 energy level, electron jumps to higher energy level on overcoming energy difference. Initially, it is assumed that the atom is in the lower state of energy E1 in order to have transition from a lower energy level to a higher one. The atom requires to overcome the energy difference between the two levels given by E2 and E1. So, some external stimulus is provided to the atom present in the ground state. Thus, an electromagnetic wave of frequency is provided to the atom at the ground level. This wave provides sufficient energy to the electron to compensate the energy difference and have transition from E1 to E2. This process is known as absorption. Moving further now, understand the process of spontaneous emission. After absorption, electrons are present in the higher energy level. These are called as excited electrons. If no light is incident on them, then they can not stay for a longer time in their higher energy level. After a short time, the excited electrons will fall back to their original energy level. While doing so, it will radiate the energy it has absorbed during the absorption process. So, this energy is radiated in the form of electromagnetic radiation, light. This process is called as spontaneous emission. You can see in this diagram. You can say at E1 side, the electron comes back to lower energy level, releasing energy equal to the energy difference between the two levels. And at the E2 side, it left holes after electron moves or lower energy level on exhausting of its spans. So during that process, it emits the photons. You can see in figure B. There is showing in center of E2 and E1, that is photon is emitted. Due to absorption, the atom is present in the energy level E2. So as the atom expires, it now comes back to ground level from the higher energy level. On coming back to ground level, The atom emits the energy difference of the two energy levels, that is E2 and E1. This energy is emitted by the photon in the form of electromagnetic wave. Generating a photon of energy, this process is termed spontaneous emission. This radiation emission phenomenon is usually seen in optoelectronic devices such as LED. Let us now understand the process of stimulated emission. This is the most important process in the formation of a laser. In this process, the amplification of light takes place. Consider an excited electron present at a higher energy level E2 as shown in front of your figure. If the incident light strikes these electrons when it is in the excited state, and if there is no chance for this electron to go to higher energy level, then this electron will fall back to its original energy level and will emit light. This electron will emit two photons instead of one while falling back. So one incident photon causes the emission of two photons and light amplification takes place. The two emitted photons are in phase and travel in the same direction. This process is called as stimulated emission, and it is shown in front of your figure number B. You can say figure A and B or figure 1 and 2. For the stimulated emission to take place, it is necessary to have a large number of excited electrons. This process, in which the number of excited atoms is made larger than the electrons present at the ground state lower energy level, is called as population inversion. Suppose after absorption the atom is present at higher energy level, you can see in front of your figure at the E2 side the incident photon, you can say electron present at higher energy level is provided a photon of energy, and at your E1 side at figure B the incident photon and coherent emitted photon are shown in center of E2 and E1 of figure number 2. At E1 side you can say electrons comes back to ground state by releasing energy of 2 times the incident photon. Suppose after absorption the atom is present in the higher energy level before the exhaustion of its process, so an electromagnetic wave of frequency equal to the frequency of spontaneous emitted atom is provided to the atom. This causes the atom to perform a transition from E2 to E1. Now, this time the atom will release the energy of two photons in this transition. The whole junction assembly with a partially reflecting mirror, thus this will cause back and forth movement of the atom. Result of this will generate more photons. As soon as the threshold is achieved, photons will get escape from the mirror surface. A bright coherent radiation is emitted by the device. At the time of stimulated emission, there is providing a photon energy to the atom. So the emitted photons will be in the same phase with the incident photons, thus generating a monochromatic bright light. So this is about how laser diode works. You have to see again and again these three steps, basic steps for the generation of laser, that is absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. So this is the construction diagram you can draw with the block laser diode. These are the some advantages of laser diode, that is simple construction, lightweight, very cheap, it is in a small size, operation life is longer, higher efficiency. So these are the some advantages of the laser diode. These are the some disadvantages for the laser diode. It is not suitable for the application where high power are required, or semiconductor laser are highly dependent on the temperature. So these are the some applications of laser diode. Laser diodes are used in laser pointer, are used in fabric optic communications. These diodes are used in barcode readers, used in laser printings, used in laser scanning, and these diodes are used in range finder. You can use this diode also in sound recording and reproduction in CD players. At some places these diodes are used for welding purpose. These diodes can be also used as a sharp cutting tool in machine tool applications. These diodes also used in the communication field. These diodes also used for flow measurement. This diode mostly used in military applications. This diode measure distance, alignment angle. This diode also used in infrared spectrometers, or at last all you know, this diode also used in the medical field area. So these are the some applications for laser diode.